everyone. My name is Nerd Builder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a video. I apologize for the sporadic schedule. I've been a bit busy IRL, and it's going to be I'll be posting videos, but probably a little sporadically for a little while. Here, nothing bad IRL, just a few things going on that I kind of had to cut back on my streaming and content creating one. But I appreciate everyone's patience and support so much. I hope everyone's doing very well too and having a great start to the new year. So, with that being said, I've still been doing stuff within our colony here, despite not having any live streams or episodes come out recently. And today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we're actually kind of stuck right now with our builders. And I'm actually going to head over there in just a second to explain why. But we're not going to do a new one this week. I'm hoping in the next time we'll be doing a new build. Again, we only have a handful left of builds to go. We still have some buildings to renovate. But I think we've been making some good progress, and I'm hoping that our builders will be able to finish 2 big projects, and hopefully within the next week or so here. So let me go back into first person mode. And sorry, that was very bright, but let's head on over here. So I'm going to walk through a bunch of the changes today and kind of talk about what's been going on in the colony. So I guess we could just start off right over here. So, I think I parked a little too closely, I think, to the gas pump here as I took the cargo plane out for a spin to go get some iron. But I put some gray concrete down, light gray concrete here as kind of like a taxiway or like a parking area that you would see at an airport. And you also notice that the area has shrunk a little bit over here. So I actually took down the warehouse that was right over in this pit over here, and I'm building a new one. So this one is more of our private one because, again, it's very close in proximity right there to our other warehouse. So this one's more of like a personal warehouse, like an overflow one when I have to clean out this one, which I've had to do a couple times, I think, because a bunch of the items that were in here found their way into this warehouse. So I think I'm going to do a better cleanup job in that warehouse once we get this one built. So let's see if I can see the progress. Yeah, so it's kind of been idling right around here. It actually went up slightly here, and then this one's been a weird reading here, I think, because I did a few updates in our world here. I updated to the newest version of MineColonies. Again, there were a few bugs that were becoming annoying, like the colonists becoming stuck on rails and that, so I was hoping that the new one would fix it. And yeah, as you can kind of see, it's like all over the place. So this has been a little bit glitchy here. But you can also see, I should point out in the top right, I actually went back to a different mini map to the one that we used to have on the top, their journey map, because it turns out that originally journey map, when we updated the 1.19.2, was having some performance issues that was dragging our frame rate down. And some of the performance mods that I use, such as like Rubidium extras, were not compatible with 1.19.2, but it turns out that now they've updated compatibility. I was doing some checking on some of the apps or some of the mods that we had installed, and I noticed that because you could see on the top left there that it's showing where our frame rate currently is. And some of the performance mods have helped out with our frame rate, again, because we're running pretty intensive shaders and a decent texture pack. So it can sometimes drag down our frame rate, but it has helped because for a while we were seeing some pretty bad frame rates here. So just a few changes. I added a few apps I'll be updating on our Discord, our mod list. I've added a few more. I've also gotten a little bit into All the Mods 8 just as like a side thing. I haven't done that much with it, but some of the mods I have enjoyed from there, I've decided to port over to our world here. So we'll probably at some point because a lot of the world around us over here has been generated already. So we'll probably have to fly out a little ways, but we'll see some of the new biomes and that with some of the extra mods. But yeah, so this warehouse is currently in progress right here. There's an old courier's hut right behind it, partially deconstructed, unfortunately, with the old style. The builder does not fully take down the building for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I think it's just because it's like an old style, and then it's not fully recognizing it. So I took down what we could, and then just started having them build the warehouse, thinking that they'll probably get rid of the rest of this since it's kind of interferes. And the same philosophy over here with this courier's hut that's right here. Again, I started building the new barracks over here, and you can see some of the remnants up there of the guardrail at the top of the towers. But this is the Caledonia barrack style. Again, this is in progress. The main holdup, as I mentioned before, has been mostly diorite. Diorite has been a significant issue. And so there's a couple ways to get it. Obviously, through the miners, I've changed the levels that they're mining at because they were very low down, so they probably weren't going to find much diorite. So I brought them a little bit closer to the surface, which has helped somewhat there because the diorite just kind of disappears as soon as it comes into the inventory. Because again, with the mods that we have installed, you can do diorite obviously by mining it, and we can also take cobblestone and nether quartz, and you can combine them, and you can get diorite from that. But unfortunately, our long serving nether miner passed away. She was doing it for about, I would say, a couple months, actually. So it was a pretty long stretch. And unfortunately, in an attempt to rush it to get some nether quartz, I took a few people that were training over in our combat academy, and I tried to move them in there. Their strength wasn't as good. And unfortunately, I sent a few people to their death. So I kind of stopped doing that for right now. I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to let them train at the combat academy and then maybe move them to a mine over there to get their strength up before we take them back. So we're not just sending people to their death because they were dying pretty quickly. So, but yeah, so we're having a massive diorite shortage. I know on our Discord that some people have shown different farms. I think I'm going to try to create, I think, a nether quartz farm using the create mod, which I haven't done a lot with, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve on my part. But I think what we'll do is I'm going to try to maybe come up with some create farms like a cobblestone generator and the andesite issue that I mentioned. If you checked on our YouTube under the community tab, there has resolved itself. So for a while we were a little bit down, but it seems like they must have struck a vein or something because we have a bunch of it now. So yeah, so I've been spending some time doing some upgrading. I realized after, I think this one is slightly off right here. I'm going to have to move this up, but again, a courier's hut right here. So we're going to kind of work up this area a little bit more. Originally, we were going to put an ice skating rink in over here. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to fit over here in this space. So I think we might just put houses and other things bordering the airport. And I'm actually thinking about changing our house style as well. So there's a few different styles that look very cool that I'm intrigued to try. One does a lot with Blackstone, and it's slightly bigger than the house that we have right now. The airport will actually get a little bit smaller by about 1 block there on the far side, but I think it'll still be okay. Again, I didn't really have to reduce the size of the runway. I just had to shift this over to accommodate the warehouse fitting in over here. But I think it's still a pretty decent size. And right now, there's no way for me to drive the car in because, again, we just have the one gas pump that the plane's kind of hovering next to. Now, I think we're going to have to put a second one in and finish some research. I've been doing some research along the way too. So we're doing some of the longer research that takes about 4 to 8 hours to do. So, but luckily it does help when you exit out of the game. But yeah, so looking good. Hoping to get this finished soon. Again, it's just I'll have to fix the diorite issue. The minute we could fix a diorite issue, we're golden. The Caledonia style, unfortunately, uses a lot of diorite, so we're going to be a little short all the time. The cobblestone supply has leveled out some as well. But another thing too. So a pretty cool mod that I saw from the All the Mods 8 is this lantern mod, which I thought was cool. So I think we're actually going to take out a lot of the torches and we're going to put lanterns in. I just crafted a few here, and actually our colonist crafted it for me. I think we're going to use these and maybe put them on like a deep slate wall as like kind of like a lamppost, and then have that coming up. I think it looks very cool there, and it actually puts out a decent amount of light. It's just daytime now, so we won't be able to see it probably by the end of the episode, but it has been a nice addition. I think it looks a little bit better than having like the torches, and I also like it better than some of our lights that we have on our one of our main streets over there. It looks a little blocky, those ones. So, but some of the other stuff that I've been doing, so coming down this way, I kind of fixed up the road area down here and actually readjusted these houses over here too. If you remember from the last couple live streams in that, I was talking about upgrading this area, so finally got an opportunity to do so. So this is all set over here, and the road is still in progress down here, but it was a little choppy because when we took out the existing houses. And the other thing that I had to do in order to do this was to move our fuel production center back a little bit. So I had to take everything down and kind of scale it back. So this is our new partially constructed fuel area to produce fuel. And I actually included a little lava pit right here so I can get rid of some of the material that is produced through, like here, everything should be pretty full right now, but the tanks are all full. I moved it back. So I'm actually thinking about putting like the cobblestone generator and the nether quartz farm. If we could fit it, maybe digging this out a little bit more, because there is a little bit of back here. There's an opening, and I saw some mobs in there, and I think that might be what's hurting the frame rate, because I think mobs are spawning down here. So it's like a very narrow cavity, but it's about like 4 blocks high, so things can still spawn in there. So I'm thinking about digging that out a little bit, because I was doing some research on the create mod, and it looks a little complicated. I'm hoping I can try to figure it out. There's a few steps, not just building the farm, but producing power and that. So, I'll be curious to see, because those are the 2 farms that I was thinking of creating using the create mod. But if you have a favorite farm, make sure to drop it down in the comments down below. There something that I can maybe take a look into doing in the future too, because I know that the nether quartz thing came up because of the diorite issue, and we use a lot of cobblestone, so it could be helpful to have a cobblestone generator as well. But let me know if you guys use other farms from the create mod too. So yeah, the other thing, I upgraded the composter that was over here too. So this composter has been doing a great job. Actually, she's been burning through a lot of stuff here, but doing a great job. It's kind of solved our compost issue. There's a little bit of an issue for a while there, but got this all upgraded. And I also got our flower shop upgraded over here as well to the Caledonia style. So we have a little bit of room back here to develop, and then this will probably be just like a road going back that way. But this area down here is pretty much full, because we won't really be able to fit anything on this side over here. I'm thinking about just making this like flower beds or something like that on the side of the road here. We might, yeah, even over here, there's not a lot of room, and I'm going to have to touch up underneath here and make sure that we're, to make it look a little bit better than it does now. But yeah, we're pretty full down here. There's not a lot of room left. I think we are going to end up putting a road coming down this way. Again, we do have our bridge that's over here, so that way we can connect it over to the bridge right here and have the road run down this way and the road go up that way, so we don't have to keep driving around the colony like all the way down. We can kind of take a shortcut that's a little bit quicker. So yeah, let's head back up this way. So those are the main changes down this way. And let me go back. I'm so used to just running right through the airport, so I have to go around for right now. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this area right here yet. I tried to fit one of the courier's huts from the Caledonia style, but unfortunately it was slightly too big by about 2 blocks. So it would impede on this road right here, this little walkway right here, which this is actually a pretty vital little like staircase and walkway, because again, our couriers are constantly coming up and down, and our guards too when this is all finished. So we do have a bunch of unemployed people right now because they were former guards that are waiting to get their assignments back. So hopefully we can get that done relatively soon. So I haven't done much in this area of the colony up here. This area, we're still going to have to see if we can get anything to fit, or at a minimum just make this into a park over here. That could be a nice complement to our little concert venue area over here. And then back this way, I couldn't remember if I showed this on live stream or not, but we finished upgrading these houses. So I was surprised that we were able to get 2 to fit on this side, which I thought we were only going to be able to get 1. and there's a few remnants of the old house over here. Still, that I'll have to take down, but I couldn't fit another guard tower. We have our old guard tower right here. I'm probably going to take that down over here, and then you can see too, we'll have to do some changes over here to make this a little bit more secure. It does come out into the ocean a little bit, but it mostly fits, so we can just do some terraforming around it there. So yeah, that's been going on there. As I mentioned, we've been doing a lot of research. I've been trying to stay on top of it here at our university, which is fully decked out at level 5 there. So, out of water, or low on thirst anyways. So it looks like over here, because I took care of a lot of cows that had been roaming around, and it looks like, unfortunately, that she's let out some more cows. This has been like an issue. I know that people have reported this issue, but yeah, it's been looking like an issue that she's leaving the gate like wide open. So it's difficult because they keep getting out, and I think that's also causing a little bit of lag along with it. But yeah, on this side of the county, not too much has been going on over here, with the exception of that I built another composter, which we had 3. We were down to 2 for a little while, and I'm actually going to grab some water from the plantation over here. But we were down to 2 for a little while, composters, and I upgraded it back up to the 3rd one, so that way we have 2 over here, which makes more sense because, again, they have more of a continual supply of material. On the other side of our colony, they're not getting the level of storage of like seeds or like other materials like carrots or potatoes that they can use for compost. I've been using wool too from our wool farm, but over here in this warehouse, again, it's mostly agricultural products in this warehouse, so it's helped out a lot. Again, we have 2 right over here, and yeah, they've been producing a lot. I think she's going to complain about having a long walk to work. We still have to kind of fix that up, but yeah, the other one right here too. And you could see on the right over here, when we pull up our map, where actually our border is almost to where our wall is. So because we were getting some tricky spawns in the area that's not part of our colony, because again, they can't spawn. I'm pretty sure, anyways. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They can't spawn within the borders of the colony, but again, with the way that our wall is, they were kind of spawning like right in this area. So we're almost there. Probably put a guard tower next to this one, so that'll help a little bit more. The ghost pirate ship is still hanging out down there, and yeah, so this is looking good. Our border's almost going out there. Still have some areas to explore with this map. Again, I just recently reinstalled it after discovering some of the performance mods that, I'm sorry, I keep saying apps, the performance mods that were not compatible, that I was able to add back in, and it's really done wonders to help with the frame rate. So it looks a little bit smoother. But yeah, not a lot back here since our last couple episodes too. I haven't done a lot back here. We have a guard tower hanging up over here now, and we have a courier's hut here. And I think a couple of our next builds are going to be in this area as well. I'm thinking at least like the graveyard, and I'm thinking the archery we might keep on the other side by the combat academy, but I do need redo it, remodel it. That's the word I'm looking for. We've been doing a lot of remodeling here, so we're all we're at one style. So yeah, so we still have to do that, but we're getting closer to finishing all the remodeling. I think we have a handful of buildings left, but like I said, we're a little stuck right now with the courier's huts. So, or with the barracks and the backup warehouse and that. So not a lot over here. Again, like I said, with our mine, I've been having our miner dig at a higher level, which that they've had a little bit of luck doing. Let me actually check while we're over here. Oop. And see, because I had it set to level 8, where you could see they did 26 nodes. So I moved them down to 10, and it looks like they did 13 there. And I might actually just move them down again there to see if hopefully they can get some diorite. I'm trying to keep them somewhat close to the surface. But yeah, so not a lot of changes in this area down here. Again, these buildings are pretty much the way that they are. This area over here, I still want to kind of make this into like a little park area. We have to get rid of this massive tree that's been hanging out over here for a while. I think there's some remnants of a tree. Yep, right there that grew here. But yeah, so we have a little bit of room for like a little walkway back here. And that way we do have our guard tower right here and that. So we do have that. And I also was able to remedy the bee issue. Uh, a while back, I was talking about how we had a bunch of hives, which I took down, but a bunch of the bees disappeared, unfortunately. But I noticed while we were walking around in this area, I saw about 3 or 4 bees. So I had to walk them from a pretty far distance here on a leash, in that. But I was able to get them back in here, and there's one right now, but there is at least 3, maybe even 4 bees here too. Perfect. So yeah, they've been producing a ton of honey. We upgraded it a little bit and did some additional research, and we can produce now honeycombs and bottles of honey at the same time, which is nice too. So we have a little bit of both, and we're getting a pretty full supply of honey in that, and we've been making a lot of glass bottles too. I think we might have to thin out the warehouse a little bit more because we have a lot of honey and a lot of honeycombs in there. So, but yeah, so I think we're making a good amount. I don't know if they came up here. Are those the 2 that were out? Yeah, maybe. There is another one though somewhere down there. So she does have some poppies and that to help breed the bees. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of the change. I know to me it feels like a lot. I'm not sure if it is a lot. I've been trying to stay on top of getting some projects done. The biggest thing right now has been, like I said, the hold up here. So as soon as that gets remedied, it's going to be a little bit better. The other thing too, and I don't know if anyone's experiencing this in their county. Speaking of the nether miner, I don't know if they're protesting because again, I've sent so many to their death. But let me see, because the new one that I hired here, oh, you don't actually want to go into the nether. Yeah, has not been. I tried taking all of the things that she needed out of her inventory to see if she'll go in. She hasn't been going in to the nether. I know it's been a little hit and miss because I had one that wasn't going in there originally, but the portal has been lit. I don't know if I should tell her to close the portal or what, but she should be able to, because again, I've gone through here to get into the nether to test it. But yeah, she's been kind of just hanging around down there. So I've tried to recall her to her block, fire her, rehire her. So I'm not sure, because the nether miner's preceding her after I figured out what was going on with the original one. I have all been fine, but she's just been kind of chilling down here. So again, I don't know if it's a protest, joking, of course, but I'm not sure. So if anyone's been experiencing this, please drop a comment down below. Let me know, what you did to fix it, because I'll be curious to see there. So again, it'd be nice if we could get some nether quartz going, and it would avoid me having to actually go into the nether, because again, there's a lot of dangerous stuff in there. But I may have to go into the nether eventually to get some nether quartz. I actually went in and dug down, and I got a bunch of blackstone, but I didn't get any nether quartz, unfortunately. So go figure. But yeah, that's pretty much all the big updates. Again, I kind of maxed out this warehouse. I did some cleaning out of it, but it's still going to be filling up. So hopefully we can get the other warehouse done so I can move some more stuff over. A lot of random things that have been fished up, I've noticed, are taking up a lot of space in here. So I've been trying to get rid of like a lot of the leather boots and some of the armor, like bows and that, a lot of the stuff, not to be wasteful, but it doesn't have much durability left on it. So it's just kind of taking up space. And again, we can craft bows, here for our people if they need them. So, and that, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all the updates. A little bit of a different episode today, but I just wanted to come on and give a little bit of an update, because I know it's been a few weeks here, so since our last episode. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today's episode. The next time we have an episode, I'm hoping to have this issue fixed up here. If you have any recommendations on remedying our diorite shortage, please drop them down below. If you have any other ideas, I'm thinking the nether quartz farm might be the best way to go, but if anyone has a better idea other than me manually going and digging for a lot of it myself, which it's getting to that point, I might have to go to our old manual mine that we dug way at the beginning of our series and maybe see if we can get some diorite from down there. But yeah, we're going to leave it here for today. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out the update video. A little bit different, as I mentioned here. And yeah, like I said, I'm not sure when the next episode will be out. Probably I'm hoping in like a week or two, I'm going to have it out. So the next time when we do an episode, I'm hoping not to have to do another update video, but I may do an update video. And if we're done with the barracks and if that issue is all remedied, then I will be doing a build video. But until then, my name is Nerd Builder. Thank you so much for coming in and checking it out. I should say too, losing my script a little bit since it's been a few weeks. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping a like on it. It really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, somewhere people could find our community here. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free, really helps the channel out a lot. There as we move towards 1,000 subs. Getting very excited there. Thank you so much for all the support. But we'll be back shortly with another episode. But until then, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.